Welcome! We're diving into Pakistan's textile industry today. It's this massive, multi-billion-dollar giant that employs millions of people. But what keeps this incredibly complex machine from, well, completely falling apart? You might be surprised to find out it's not some huge corporation, but actually a small, pretty unassuming government office. So let's pull on that thread and see where it leads.
I mean, really think about it for a second. We're talking about a global industry worth billions, constantly shifting with fast fashion and just fierce international competition. What in the world acts as the anchor in that kind of storm? The answer isn't some massive conglomerate or a global committee. Nope, it's a surprisingly small, highly specialized government office that you've probably never even heard of. Okay, so to really get what this office does, we first have to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of the industry it's in charge of. This isn't just an industry. We're talking about the very backbone of Pakistan's entire economy. Yeah, this is not just one business among many. From cleaning raw cotton all the way to producing finished clothing, textiles are the single largest manufacturing and export sector in the whole country. Its performance can literally make or break the national economy. It's that big a deal.
So, who is this quiet overseer of such a sprawling, vital industry? All right, it's time to pull back the curtain and meet the organization at the heart of our story.
Let me introduce you to the Textile Commissioners Organization, or as we'll call it, the TCO. Now, this isn't just another layer of bureaucracy. It's a highly specialized technical department. Think of it as the government's #1 expert advisory body for all things textiles. You know, the TCO's own mission statement just nails it. Their goal is to be a bridge. And that one word is absolutely key to understanding everything they do. They're all about connecting the world of government policy with the on-the-ground, day-to-day reality of the textile business.
So, what does being a bridge actually look like? You know, day in and day out. Let's take a look at their core functions, everything from setting rules to handing out financial incentives. The TCO is broken down into 4 main wings, and each one has a really specific job. You've got the technical wing. They're the hardware experts checking out machinery. The statistics wing is the data brain tracking all the production numbers. Then the policy wing makes sure government plans are actually working out there. And of course, the admin wing keeps the whole operation running smoothly.
So their main jobs really boil down to this. They're constantly collecting data through surveys, they're advising businesses on how to modernize their factories, they make sure government money, incentives are going to the right places, and, this is crucial, they keep the lines of communication wide open between government officials and the factory owners.
A huge part of their job involves these schemes like the DLTL. Now, I know that sounds like a bunch of complicated jargon, but the idea is actually pretty simple. It's a government program that gives exporters a tax break. This helps them sell their products at a more competitive price on the global market. And who's the agency that makes sure this whole process is fair and accurate? You guessed it, the TCO.
So how does this actually work for a business? Well, first, a textile company registers with the TCO. Then, when they export their goods, they file a claim for that tax rebate. That's when the TCO's technical experts step in to verify that the claim is totally legitimate. Once they give the green light, the government releases the money. See? The TCO is that critical verification step right in the middle of the chain.
But hey, the TCO hasn't always been focused on digital claims and rebates. Not at all. This organization has a really fascinating history that pretty much mirrors the evolution of Pakistan itself.
It was set up right after independence in 1947, and its first job was pretty straightforward: help build the new nation's industrial base from the ground up. By the 60s, as the industry boomed, it became the gatekeeper for the foreign currency everyone needed to import modern machinery. Now fast forward to the 2020s, and in a world totally driven by data, its entire focus has shifted to building a national digital database to track the industry in real time.
When you look at it this way, the TCO's evolution is just striking. It's gone from being a manager of physical things, like allocating currency for one specific machine, to being a manager of data and information, helping the entire industry navigate really complex global trade rules and digitize its operations. This incredible adaptability is really the secret to its long-term survival and success.
Okay, so we've seen what the TCO is, what it does, and how it's changed over the decades. But what's its real, lasting impact? Why does this small organization truly matter so much?
At its very core, the TCO is a stabilizing force. In an industry that is notorious for its dramatic booms and busts, it provides a measure of stability and foresight that is just absolutely essential.
And it does this in some very real, concrete ways. Its data helps prevent the market from getting oversaturated with too many factories. Its analysis points out exactly which sectors need investment right now. And its technical advice actually shapes major national policies, like the super ambitious goal of doubling textile exports.
And this all brings us right back to the TCO's core function, that idea of being a bridge. Its real impact comes from just how effectively it connects these two different worlds. It translates the government's big economic goals into practical, useful advice for the industry, and it translates the industry's technical needs back into actionable data for the policymakers.
So you see, it's easy to just dismiss this as another government body, but that really misses the whole point. The TCO acts as the technical brain trust for an entire industrial ecosystem. It's what makes sure a foundational, legacy part of Pakistan's economy doesn't just survive, but can actually compete and thrive in today's global economy.
But of course, the world keeps changing. As the textile industry continues to evolve with new technology, AI, and shifting trade winds, the TCO is going to have to evolve once again. Will it become a leader in sustainable, green textile production, or maybe a champion of ethical labor practices? The question isn't if it will change, but how. What do you think that next thread in its story will be?